This opening is a bop though. Oh, I love the artistry. Holy shit, that looks so cool. Love a good opening ending where this characters are singing. Holy shit, okay, Rap God. That's the first volume cover! That's the first volume cover! I know that because we have that in the house. That's a cool, like, little shot to just throw in there. Wow. Oh shit. This is not what I was expecting. No, it's burning! I love series where someone finds something they're good at and they become happy about it. Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are returning to the world of anime opening and endings. It has been a long time. I am streaming this live on Twitch. If you guys ever want to join me, I do stream occasionally. I'd like to announce streams on the community tab on YouTube, twitch.tv/Jasmer. If you ever want to check out a stream, if I'm streaming, come check it out. It's good fun and you get to see these reactions before they're posted on YouTube. Today we are going to be checking out 12 openings/endings from the winter 2025 period. I don't really know anything that's going to be in this. This has been curated by our good friend Pinecino over in chat. He has created a list. I don't know if it's going to be 6 openings, 6 endings, or what it's going to be, but we're going to check it out. We're going to have a lot of fun. The only series I can even recall off the top of my head that was airing in winter 2025 is Apothecary Diaries, so that's the only thing I'm expecting to be in this list. Other than that, it's going to be a complete mystery. It's going to be a surprise, and it's going to be a lot of fun to check out. So here we go. We're going to dive right into this. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite opening and or ending from the winter 2025 period. And yeah, let's just dive right into this. Here we go. And we are starting off with Apothecary Diaries. Oh, I love the art style. It's like a continuation of the first opening, like that kind of style. This is very different. This is very Yoasobi-esque. Wow, the animation is so like unique in this series, like for the openings. Oh, who's that? The mystery poisoner? She's trying. Love the lighting in these openings so much. Like the use of color in Apothecary Diaries just looks so fun. Jinshi? The purple? This is reminding me of the final opening of Kaguya, The Doors. Is that baby Jinshi? Is it? I don't know. It's like a childlike wonder looking at her. 4-leaf clovers. This opening is a bop though. Blooming in profusion. What does it mean? What does it all mean? This is the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, airing in the winter and spring seasons and produced by TOMOO. The song is In Bloom, Nirvana, by Lilas Ikuta, the singer of Yoasobi. There you go. There's where the vibes, the Yoasobi vibes come from. This was an absolute bop. This was a really great opening. Like, it felt very different from other openings for Apothecary Diaries. It's really bothering me. I'm struggling to remember how the second opening sounded, but I know that the first one was pretty exciting anyway. I feel like the second one was a little more of a downbeat track, but had some, exciting moments in it, where this one is just like, BPM the whole way through. Flowers are indeed back, and it makes a lot of sense because she is, of course, someone who deals with flowers, herbs, all of that, in trying to come up with these cures, I guess. And it's just really cool seeing the shamrocks in this opening. Like, I feel like shamrocks are never shown in series whatsoever. And like, while watching this, I thought it was 4-leaf clovers at first. Just basic assumption, but no, these are shamrocks, and shamrock, of course, very important. Yeah, this is the Irish guy reacts part. Yeah, shamrocks, of course, very near and dear to any Irish person. Like, will recognize a shamrock, whereas someone else looking at this might think they're clovers, whereas clovers are rounded more so than shamrocks. Shamrocks are like little hearts, and it's very cute. So yeah, this is really cool to see. I guess I just never thought I would see like anything like this in anime openings or endings. There was one ending recently I checked out, the one of the Dr. Stone endings, which was very deedly dee. Like, it had the flute coming in and everything. And yeah, just seeing anything Irish just makes me happy in these things. That's besides the point, though. We'll go through the opening itself. So what do I think is happening this season? Very much the same that has happened in every other season. I feel like Apothecary Diaries, to me, in my head, is the sort of series that doesn't get derailed or anything by arcs. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like the series Apothecary Diaries is very much like, not to say it's the same thing happening the whole way through, but in my head it's the same series the whole way through. Like, it doesn't jump around the place with different ideas or anything like that. I feel like it's a very grounded series, and so I suspect that this season 2, is very much the same as season 1. It's not really going in different directions, and the opening visuals kind of implied that as well. Mau, like this shot of Mau right here, like I love this shot. This art style, like the shine in her hair, the flat coloring on her like skin and everything, just the way that Toho, I guess is doing the coloration and presenting her is so iconic. She is such a fun looking character for a main character. Like, she just doesn't give a damn. She's putting the hand up, covering her face, kind of looking at you from the side of her eye, kind of just like watching you from a distance. She's maybe a very careful character, the way she's watching and stuff. She watches from a distance, doesn't get too involved in everything, but she is involved, and maybe this hand is kind of like her block, blocking her from view from being involved. I don't know. I feel like she's brought bangs back, in anime. Like, I haven't seen an anime character in a very long time with bangs that go this hard. Iconic. This shot as well. This shot was in opening 1. Am I wrong? Wasn't this exact shot in opening 1? It's making me wonder even more, like, is this the same character? Is that Mau? Like, that's the biggest question I have had while checking these openings out. Is Mau this person? Because I have no idea. They look very similar, but at the same time, I feel like I've seen them in shots together. You might have seen a photo or the trailer. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. This shot right here, of course, very All Might inspired. Yeah, pointing up. I don't know really what it's indicating, like that you're the same person the whole way through, no matter what walk of life you're in, what you're doing, anything like that. You're still the same person. You're still walking towards the same goals, same ideals, and everything like that. The song does sound a little silly at times, as well as it's doing like kind of Scooby-Doo-esque, jump in and out sort of moments. Like, it does have like a goofy kind of dook sort of sound to it. Instruments are not really my forte, so I can't tell you what those instruments are, even though it's electronic, I'm sure. And then, of course, the intensity starts to ramp up in the song when we start to see someone who, though, dropping poison, I guess poison, into a cup of tea, and then someone else putting maybe more poison in some water. And of course, Mama was trying that. She is the one that's her job, right? She is there to taste these poisons or taste food for royal family or something. I've already forgotten that part of the series. She's a poison taster. Yeah, she's a poison taster, so she's here to taste poison. And she sees, well, she doesn't see, we see two mysterious characters dropping mysterious liquids and substances into liquids. And my wonder then is, maybe the second one that we see someone dipping like a substance into something, is that maybe Mama herself providing the antidote for the poison that was dropped into it? Because she is very aware of the comings and goings in this place. She is seemingly very silent but very aware, and I guess this is the first time I've seen her with a look of surprise in any of these openings. And what does she see right after the surprise, I wonder? She sees makeup. She has makeup being put on her. So yeah, I don't know how to interpret that, if she's surprised by the lifestyle being accepted by these people, because she does still look very surprised here in this image, where we see her reflection in in a mirror. So is she kind of shocked by how quickly she's been accepted, how quickly she's gained the trust of all of these people? Is she cunning? Like, is she creating relationships for a personal gain? She doesn't strike me as that kind of character, but I don't know why she seemed shocked, I guess. And then Jinshi showing up, and this other character with... Is this the character that we saw in opening 2? I don't think it is, because those nails look very different. There was a character in opening 2 who seemingly had like a dead wife, or a wife who had some sort of skin condition that she was wrapped in bandages and they weren't seeing each other. It might have been this guy though. I don't know who it was, but you know, they're being enveloped in flowers, and the symbolism in this opening is very present, but sadly, because I am not as aware of this series and the true like depth of what these characters are going through, I don't know how to interpret the symbolism. Like this guy being enveloped in flowers, I feel like we saw these flowers maybe in opening 2, and there was a character who was reaching out to flowers. Flowers died, I think, in opening 2, and then we saw a female character with these flowers or something like that. And I'm wondering if that's this character who is still very much reeling over a lost one or someone that he once loved, and these flowers remind him of that person. And then I don't know who this is. Is this Jinshi who kind of like embraces him, maybe helps him out with what he's going through? The doors, of course, the doors that lead to nowhere. It's an endless labyrinth. And then Mao Mao and Jinshi not even looking at each other in this one. They're just kind of looking at something. We don't see what they're looking at. And I guess this is insinuating Jinshi's childish wonder staring up at Mao Mao, because he's not a child, right? And right as that happens, we see the shamrocks, we see, I don't know what these are, like daisies or something, and butterflies, and all this beauty in the world, and very nature inspired. Like, is that how he sees her? Does he see her as lucky? Does he see her as someone who... Wait, what is... Why has she got a face of disgust? This is, of course, the time travel arc, of course. Jinshi has gone back in time. That is the Will of Steins Gate after all. And then we get to see all these other characters, and Mao Mao being iconic as always. And yeah, just a very fun opening, and one that I think fans of the series probably enjoyed while it was airing, because it's very fun. And then we get this shot as well where we see Mao Mao and Jinshi. They are presumably in pools, or a pool, and they're kind of not looking at each other but also looking at each other. So there's this sense of maybe longing for one another, but also like not willing to express that. They are baring themselves. They are naked, maybe with one another, but also not really with one another, because they're looking in opposite directions. So there's this question of, are they actually longing for each other or not? Because they are looking in different directions, but there is that sense that when they're looking back, it's kind of like, are you still there? You know, I don't know. Like, it's cute. It's very cute. And then the opening ends with petals flying into the wind, into the sky, which very much reminds me of opening 1 yet again, and probably opening 2. But yeah, this was a great one. Very fun opening. Definitely a great addition to the stacked list that Apothecary Diaries has when it comes to openings and endings. It was really fun to check out. And yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. So here we go. Let's check out opening number 2. Let's go. Here we go, opening 2. What are we going to get in this one? Or ending 1. Who knows? It's going to be an opening or an ending. Who is that? Draw new lines? Zenshu. Oh, I love the artistry. Like the way you see the different stages. Wow. Holy shit, that looks so cool. Is this an anime about creating anime? Reaching out for your own creation? Wow. The color. Absolute banger too. Stepping into a fantasy world in regular clothing. Isekai moment. The spotlight. Oh? Wow. All eyes are on you. Mappa! Wow, why did Mappa put their own name in the opening? That's so funny. This is Zenshu, an anime original produced by Mappa, directed by Mitsue Yamazaki, Monthly Girls Nozuki-kun, scripted / created by Kimiko Ueno, scriptwriter on Ranma 2024 and Dungeon Meshi, and music by Yukari Hashimoto of Nozuki-kun, March Comes In Like a Lion, and Komi-san. The song is Zen by BAND-MAID. Yeah, I didn't recognize the artist at all in this song, like, so I'm I'm glad I didn't throw out a random is this such and such, because I had no idea who this was, but it was a really fun wall of sound. Like the song starts off very slow, and it really brings you in with the character. Like the character looks like a shut in, and she looks like she's just kind of doing her own thing, and that thing is creation. She is creating a series. She is creating, it looked to be she was drawing, but the way it continued, it makes me think that she's creating either a manga or an anime series, and in doing so she shows all of this creativity and we get to follow that. But when the music starts to kick up, it's when things start to become more real. Like we see this fantasy world, I say more real and then I say fantasy world, but we start to see the fantasy world, and that's when the music starts to kick up, and it really does become a wall of sound. Like it's hard to single out instruments or anything like that, because it's really just which is a lot of fun. I do love a good wall of sound song track every now and then, and this one felt very fitting for what we were seeing, because it was pretty chaotic at times. Natsuko is a young star in the anime industry, rising from animator to director in quick succession, with her first work becoming a smash hit. Her next project is a rom-com movie, yet she struggles creatively as her extreme devotion to her craft has left her bereft of any romance in her life. Passing out on her storyboard, she awakens in another world and quickly realizes it is that of A Tale of Perishing, her favorite childhood film that brought out her passion for anime. Wow, that's a really cute story. Like the idea for this series where someone has worked so hard, like it's ironic that Mappa is producing a series about essentially an overworked director, right? Like Mappa producing this, that's crazy. So Mappa creating a series about an overworked director who doesn't have time for anyone in her life, doesn't have time to find love, make love, or just have any kind of love in her life whatsoever. She is just finding love in what she does, her craft, in order to produce a new series, direct a new series that she has been put in charge of. She's the director. She needs to make a rom-com, and she doesn't know how to do that because she doesn't know what love is. She doesn't know anything about that. So in order to be able to do that, she needs to go all the way back to her first true love, the love that brought her into this industry, the love that made her want to be a part of this industry, that being A Tale of Perishing. I think that it's conceptually a wonderful idea. I think that it is a really great concept for a series to find love in a way, like it, I don't know, finding love in a way that you can understand it, because her love is not for people, it's for anime, it's for the craft. And in order to then discover love, she needs to go back to her first love. I guess what I thought I was learning from this opening before reading the blurb, I thought she was someone who was, I did think she was creating an anime initially. She was creating this anime and she was so invested and she loved these characters so much that it sucked her in. I didn't think she was literally isekai'd. Maybe she isn't literally isekai'd. Maybe she is dreaming all this. But I assumed that she was sucked into this world mentally, not physically, and she only thought about these characters. She didn't think about anything else. Her real life was boring. Her real life, there was nothing going for her, and so she kind of almost gave up on her real life, and she was just focusing on getting this series created, this series produced, because this is her love and this is what she wants to do. This is a series that she cares about. We do see that in scenes like this where she's reaching for the main character, where she shows up in the world and they're waving at her and she's smiling. It's the only time I think we probably see her smiling in this entire opening. She does essentially a magical girl transformation where she ends up at her desk, essentially draws something from anime and brings it into the world. At the end of the first episode, she recreates the god warrior from Nausicaa. Really? That's cool. Seeing the way that this started out, you know, it shows her in a very dimly lit room. The blinds are drawn, you know, there's no light getting in. She's got a hood up. Basically immediately tells you she's a shut-in, she is antisocial, and she doesn't really care for the outside. She is wrapped up in everything she's doing here, and the rest of the anime opening, we kind of get an insight into who she is, what she does, opposed to the outside world, which is ironically how the opening starts. The opening starts with the outside world, and then we go inside and we kind of just stay in this room and in this fantasy world for the rest of it, apart from the little part where we go to a theater. But we'll forget about that part in order to make what I'm saying hold any weight. You hate how much her hair covers her face for so much of the series. It just looks so gross to you. Yeah, but that's unique. That's like, a lot of people can relate to this. Like, a lot of people will look at this and be like, wow, that's me for real. Like, I don't see a problem with it. Like, granted, I haven't seen the series, but I think that it's fine. I think that it's cool seeing an actual antisocial shut-in look like an antisocial shut-in, you know, with bad hair, it's messy and everything like that. Like, it looks like, say, she's inhaling dandruff 24/7. Oh no. It's far worse than shown in this opening. Okay, fair enough. The artistry in this opening was so great. Like, it's one of the most unique, like this section right here where it's showing the title and we go through the different stages of creation, where we're shading and then we're adding little bits of text for the next person perhaps who will come in and add to it, you know, saying like, oh, I want to have the sun coming in, it's going to shine this way, the sun will be placed right here, and having all these notes. Like, this is something we never see in terms of anime creation. Like, we the viewers see a finished product. We don't get to see the details like this. This is like looking back, yeah, or like this is looking like look back. Jeez, I read that wrong. Mappa's pissed they didn't have that. Yeah, I'm so surprised Mappa didn't just sweep up all of Fujimoto's works. I wouldn't be surprised if Mappa is just like, you know what, Fire Punch, it's time, everyone's ready for Fire Punch, and then people are going to realize nobody's ready for Fire Punch because that series is unlike anything else. The way that we actually get to see the creation process, I love it so much. We get to see color being added slowly, right? Like, this kind of storyboarding here where we're seeing colors shaded in and everything, so good. Like, I love the look of this so much. You can learn a lot from this image, funnily enough. You can see that she has spent so much time creating this world that the world is a finished product before she is. The desert is in full view, it's full color, it's finished, and she is still in the storyboarding process. She is not finished yet. And it's not until the light shines in that she becomes a real person, and it's after the world is created. So it's implying that her first priority and her full emphasis on everything goes to this world before herself, and that's indicated throughout this opening time and time again. Hoping for Goodbye Eri. Oh, I would love Goodbye Eri movie. Goodbye Eri is, not to sound sacrilegious, but it might be my favorite Fujimoto work, like more than Chainsaw Man or anything. Like, Goodbye Eri just is such a masterpiece to me, and to see it produced in an anime would be amazing. But at the same time, I don't know if I want Mappa anywhere near it. I feel like I haven't seen Look Back yet, but the praise that Look Back got, I don't know if Mappa would have got that same praise for the creativity process and everything. Yeah, it's a tricky one. There is a quite shared show called Shirobako from way back. Oh, okay. I don't know. I read that and I was like Shiko Noko 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 Shiko Tan Tan whatever. Did I get it right? That's about anime production. We'll get to it someday. This show was kind of labeled in the lead up as Mappa's Shirobako. That's really cool. And you say it's a cherished show, so yeah, no, I'm glad that there are actually series about that, because it is a huge mystery to especially a Western audience. We watch these series and we don't know what goes into the creation process for an anime. Like maybe, like, I don't want to speak for people who live in Japan, but I suspect that they might be more aware of what goes on than we are, or at least most of us are, and me especially. Like, I really don't know anything, so seeing series that kind of give you maybe an insight into that, or some sort of indication, it's very intriguing to me, and it's something that actually would probably interest me because it's very insightful, even though the series kind of goes in an isekai route and an isekai direction. And maybe I wouldn't be so crazy about that. Maybe, like, I would personally just want a series about the creation process. I was indeed trying to sing the My Dear Friend Nokutan opening. You guess Aizukin was also an anime about making anime. I do remember Aizukin being an anime about creating anime, and probably also heralding these same thoughts where I was like, damn, that sounds so interesting to me. I'd be really interested in checking out a series about creating anime because I know nothing about it. I bet if you go back and check out my Aizukin reaction, you'll probably hear those same thoughts. So Shiko Noko 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 Tan Tan. Did I get it right? I feel like I'm getting it right, but I'm probably getting it wrong. What does Zenshu mean? Does that the name of the series? Is it important? But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to spend much more time talking about this. The song was an absolute banger, huge wall of sound. I love seeing the different creativity, like the color, and close enough, half close, okay. The color popping through, seeing different objects, and yeah, what an absolute blast of an opening. Like, this right here is a crazy shot. I love this so much. And seeing her like surfing on the creativity and then showing up in the chair and all the pages, and then she shows up in the other world. It's a fun opening. It's so much of a blast. And this shot right here has me confused because this is all the same character. This is her, maybe in different stages of her life, probably anyway. So I don't know if this is showing that she is the same person, that she's a different person, or anything like that, but showing her at different stages in her life, watching herself. In the end, she's watching herself in a theater, and I don't know if that's telling us that she learns that she needs to take care of herself and she needs to worry about herself before anything else, and that's why then in the end she finishes by drawing herself. Like, yeah, I don't know really how to interpret that, but my guess is she realizes by the end of the opening that she needs to work on herself, and that's why all these different versions of herself are watching herself. In Chinese, Zenshu is to redraw. That's cool. It has literal translation into themes for the series itself. But yeah, I think I might be ready to check out the next opening, or the next video opening and or ending for this. So if we're ready, I think we'll move on to the next one. Oh, is this the ending for Zenshu? Oh, I love the singer's voice so much. This is really touching. Yeah, I think it is Zenshu, right? Love a good opening ending where the characters are singing. Holy shit, okay, Rap God. War Torn. Does she live through this character? I love the character design a lot. Unicorn! This is really good. Just running through all these different fantasy worlds and locations. Aww. Oh no, not awe at all. This is actually kind of... The way this is animated, like the effect, it's really cool. I really like it. Wow, that was a beautiful ending for Zenshu. Without looking at chat, I so wanted to be like, is this Eve? But I just didn't ask, is this Eve? Because for all I know, this is Kanabun or something, you know? Oh, brother. The only reason I was like, is this Eve? Is because, like, the voice is... I didn't say it. I didn't say it during the opening. The voice kind of had, like, that... I don't know. This is the ending theme of Zenshu, Just Be Yourself by So. This largely focused on the main character of A Tale of Perishing, the tragic hero Luke, who's, of course, intensely confused by Natsuko's presence initially, but grows quite fond of her as the series progresses. This reminds you of The Little Prince. I know like essentially nothing about Little Prince apart from like, is it a rose or something? I don't know. Yeah, I know nothing about Little Prince, but I know it's a beloved and cherished children's book. I think that this ending, focusing on the main character of the anime series that she fell in love with when she was a child, I think it was a great call. I think that focusing on this guy right here, who, as you mentioned, is a tragic figure, which makes sense in a series called A Tale of Perishing. I think it was a good call because we got to see what she fell in love with all those years ago, opposed to, you know, focusing on her again, because the opening focuses on her. And so showing Luke in this one running towards something, you know, he's a very positive character. He's always smiling, and he just seems like the kind of guy that would bring everyone's mood up. And that's maybe why she fell in love with him all those years ago. Well, I don't know if she fell in love with him, but she fell in love with the series, maybe because of his positive attitude because she maybe has always felt unsatisfied with her life, and she can live through this character of Luke, who has been placed into this awful world, and he goes through all of this really tragic stuff, and he still comes out with a smile. He comes out on top, and he comes out with a positive attitude where she maybe feels like she can and wants to learn from that. That's kind of what I'm gathering from this. The singer's voice was absolutely beautiful, and the instrumentation really sounded magical. Like, it, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's piano or keyboard, but the runs that it's doing really add this magical feel to this. Like, it sounds very twinkly or something, even though it's not twinkly. I don't know how to word that better, but it is definitely adding to this fantastical feel, and seeing our main character be the one to speak life into this world. She is speaking and almost ushering Luke, the main character, forward. And yeah, he does like look really beat up, and he's kind of like being shoved down by the world, but she is willing him up. She is pulling him forward and ushering him to continue to move forward. And he goes through all these really beautiful landscapes, war-torn villages. Like, I don't know what this is, but whatever this is too, like, I can't tell if this is floating islands or if it just looks that way because the water is so see-through. And as he's reaching up, he starts to smile at about the halfway point of this opening, and then he starts to run as we see all these other characters looking out, probably like the main cast of characters, right? I don't really have a read on them or their personalities or how they act, how they are, or anything like that. This shot right here, I don't know why it's reminding me of Shadowbringers, the Crystallarium. The beauty of this series is incredible. Like, the way that everything has been hand-drawn here, obviously hand-drawn, but it looks like it's been given so much attention, detail, and love. Like, it looks so well crafted. Like, I really do love this. But, you know, seeing shots like these really make her stand out. Like, obviously, she's someone who isn't from this world and everything like that. So she's going to stand out regardless of what is in this world. Like, regardless of where she is, she's going to look different. But seeing her against a backdrop this beautiful, that reminds me of like really old school like cartoons or something, where you would have this really almost like half detailed backdrop, but it's got a really unique style. I feel like she stands out even more standing against this backdrop is what I'm trying to say. And of course, Luke running forward, and then when the path breaks before him, it doesn't matter because he gets up and he starts reaching out again anyway. And it's a very hopeful ending, but at the same time, it's very sad because we don't know if he's okay. We don't know where he is, what reaching out for this star represents. Does this star represent dreaming? Does it represent someone that he lost? Or does it represent just something that, you know, maybe the main character, the main girl, because she's from a distant world, she's from a different world, she's not from here, and so he looks out at the star and it reminds him of her. It reminds him that despite everything going on in your life, other people are also going through things. I don't know, I'm kind of stretching at this point, but yeah, this was a beautiful ending, and I really appreciate this one a lot because it really helped further emphasize the beauty and the artistry of this series that MAPPA clearly focused a lot of their time and attention to. And I hope that this series is well received. I don't actually know if people like the series or not, but my hope is that this is well received because this does look very beautiful and it does really draw me in anyway from checking out this opening and ending. But yeah, sadly I don't think I have much more to say because I feel like I talked at length kind of about this this series during the opening. A good amount found that it was their anime of the season. Really, I'm so glad to hear that because this does really speak out to me. I guess it really does interest me conceptually anyway. Even if it does go in an isekai direction, I imagine that the isekai aspect is used as a vehicle to tell the story, the true story here, the story being a discovery of love, a discovery of yourself and being and existence. Like, I don't know if he gets some kind of existential dread or existential like crisis when she shows up or anything like that. I don't know how it goes, but if this series does tackle any kind of themes or aspects of stuff like that, I think that it could be done very well, and I imagine MAPPA did a great job here because everything I've seen has looked amazing and incredible. And yeah, I think we're going to move on to the next one. All right, let's check out this next one, see what we get in this one. Here we go. Is that Blue Box? Wow. Was that a shoe flying in the background there or a peanut? I couldn't tell. The look of Blue Box is beautiful. Like the detail in the faces and everything and hair. It's got such a unique look. There you go, there's best character right there, of course. Fire in her heart. She's so fun. Aw. She seems to be someone with a lot of insecurities. Whoa, look at that. That's the first volume cover! That's the first volume cover! I know that because we have that in the house. That's a cool like little shot to just throw in there. I like that. This was a really, really great opening. I really, really like this one. It was very cute and it was very... It felt like a romance series opening. Like, I didn't really have much to say during it because I was just really enjoying seeing the way this played out, seeing all the characters. Again, it's been a while. This is the second opening of Blue Box Saraba by Macaroni Empitsu. Summertime rendering, that's crazy. Saraba means farewell. That's very sad. Are they saying farewell to each other because they're about to finish school? Are they graduating? Are they moving on to the next stages of their life? And this is kind of like a bittersweet moment. It's been a long time since I've seen that name, Macaroni Empitsu. So welcome back. It's good to see, and this was a really great one, and I hope that we hear more from them because I really genuinely love this a lot. The first opening and ending for Blue Box were already like way up there on my list of, you know, how much I enjoyed them last year. Like, I really, really loved those a lot. I feel like I maybe even placed them in my top 10 of the year. The way that this one really just draws you in, and it almost tells you a story through the characters where you see them kind of doing their thing. What's her name? Hina? Is it Hina, the red-haired girl? Taki is the guy. Chinatsu is the baller. Hina is the best one. Okay, it's Hina. I'm seeing Hina, like, this is the first time. Like, I remember you did say Pinecino in a previous opening ending. I can't remember which one. Probably the ending, actually. You did say that she actually is a gymnast, and that in terms of where they're at, you know, like, Chinatsu is very popular. She's doing great things in basketball, but I feel like I remember you saying Hina was a step beyond that in her field. And I think that that's a really cool concept, that we're seeing 3 different stages of people, you know, Taki being the guy who wants to be Chinatsu. Chinatsu maybe wants to be Hina, you know, in that kind of way, and in terms of level. Seeing Hina actually do her thing, gymnast, in this opening was really cool, because I don't think we really saw that in any of the other opening endings that we checked out. She was like national level. Chinatsu's a bum that loses in regionals. Why are you spoiling? Why are you spoiling that she loses? Come on. That was uncalled for. You say she's a bum, but I'm sure that eats her up. I'm sure that eats up at her, and she does, like, Chinatsu does look like a character who has a lot of insecurities. Like, there's a lot of shots where, like, even just wearing baggy clothing like she does, kind of, I don't know, just to me makes me think that she's got some insecurities. Like, she's dressed like one of the guys here. Like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like Chinatsu has a lot of insecurity, and I hope that Taki can help her overcome a lot of that, because they do look to be really, like, I don't know, something about them is just so special. Like, they just, the way they look at each other, the way they exist with each other, just looks very, like, there's some longing there. And it's funny me saying that, because my wife has read, I don't know how many volumes of Blue Box, and she's a Hina girl. She's came out of this. I told this story during an opening ending for Blue Box already, but she came out of it where she left off. She has a lot more to read, obviously, but where she left off, she was like, yeah, this is the first time I've ever wanted the other love interest to be the one that is the one who gets the guy in the end or whatever. She really likes Hina, and she really likes their dynamic and relationship a lot, that she wants to see them together. And that really surprised me, because she's someone who normally hates other side love interests. Like, anytime she's reading a series, I'll be like, hey, how are you feeling about this, that, or the other? And she's always like, it was really good, but now we're going through the they broke up arc, and he's seeing the other love interest now, and this is going to happen for like 2 or 3 volumes, and we're just going to have to suffer through it. That's always how she feels about that kind of thing. So the fact she loves Hina tells me a lot. And seeing right here as well, she is putting this little bracelet or this little band around his ankle, and we did see during the opening, or the opening sections for this opening, that Chinatsu has one of those around her ankle. I can't find the shot. So this is Chinatsu's point of view, because it shows her leaning towards the right, whereas when we see Hina's leaning towards the left. So that's how we know this is Chinatsu. And Chinatsu has this little anklet bracelet wrapped around her ankle here, this little anklet. And then we do see later on in the opening that she is putting one on Taki. So imagine being called Taki and being the main character. That's honestly kind of crazy, because honestly he seems everything but Taki. He seems like a really nice person. Oh wait, it's Taiki. Oh shit, it's Taiki. Okay, you missed an eye. All right, so Taiki, they do seem so cute together, and it's like, despite everything, it's not to bring ReZero into this just because I'm currently watching ReZero on the channel, but it's kind of reminding me of Rem, Subaru, and Emilia, that whole dynamic where, you know, you're going to get people who want to see 2 characters together, but it's always going to be her. Like, it's always going to be her. The way he looks at her is so unlike the way he looks at Hina. Like, it's It's completely different. Guy who has seen ReZero sees second series, absolutely. The way that they're presented in this opening is so special and so, I don't know, it really is very heartwarming to just see these scenes and the way they're drawn with each other, the way they light up each other's world, everything like that. It's, yeah, they're the couple. That's it. That's all I really have to say about those two. But yeah, also this shot, love it. This is literally volume 1's cover, and I love that they brought it into this. Seeing the way that Hina and Taiki have all these scenes together, and she has this fire burning within her, and she does look a little down. Like, I've never seen her eyes look this heavy, you know. She's kind of like looking down, and she looks like she's got something on her mind. She looks rather sad. But the way that she is presented with Taiki, every shot that we see them together, we don't see Taiki's looking at her. We see her looking at Taiki. And, like, yes, we do literally see him look at her. Like, he's running in that direction, but we don't see his face. We don't see the way he looks at her, but we see the way she looks at him. And I feel like that's a deliberate choice here. Like, we just watch him from behind. We're watching them. Whereas when it's showing Chinatsu and Taiki, we're watching the way they watch each other. They look like they have a lot of fun, though. They look like they have a really great friendship. Like, it just looks like a great friendship, the way that they're always hanging out, they have fun together, and they know each other inside and out. It seems like he knows a lot about her, she knows a lot about him. They're comfortable enough with each other to go to karaoke. Like, that's something you don't just do with anyone, because for a lot of people, singing in front of someone is being very vulnerable. I don't really have much more to say other than the song was amazing. I loved it so much, and I really hope that we get to hear more of Macaroni and Empitsu in the future, because they brought so much love and feeling to this opening. And yeah, this is going to be one that I probably will listen to again in my own time, because yeah, I loved it. Like, the opening as well, it feels very uplifting at times, and I feel like for a series like this, that's important to have moments like those. But yeah, we're ready to move on to opening or ending, whatever it happens to be, the next one. So we'll see what we get in this next one. Here we go. Oh, nice little piano ballad. Hina! The toffee apple. Aww. She's so beautiful and graceful. I haven't seen the series and I love her so much. She should be the main character. Aww. But her heart hurts when she thinks about Taiki until she sees him. Wow, we're actually seeing her like do her thing. Look at her go. Wow. She's so smitten by him, which makes it so sad. That was beautiful. That was a really, really beautiful ending right there. This is the second ending of Blue Box, contrast by TOMOO. Am I wrong? Didn't the first ending for Blue Box focus on Chinatsu? Because if that is the case, I really like that the endings focused on the two different girls. You know, the first ending focused on Chinatsu. Oh, the first ending was focused on the cast. Okay, never mind then. But, you know, focusing an entire ending on Hina here, that tells you a lot about her character. She is a character very important to the series, and one that I know a lot of people love. I know that she's a very well-loved character within the series, and to see that she is getting her own ending, and it's so beautiful, just tells you everything. It says the staff know. Yeah, I don't know if how the series looks in the openings and endings is how the characters actually look in the series, because in the openings and endings, I just cannot get over how great they look. Like, the character designer in Blue Box is honestly god tier. Like, I don't know what it is about these character designs, but seeing the way that they've been translated to the screen here, it's amazing. Like, the eyes, the hair, the coloring. I know that the light reflection and everything isn't necessarily character designs. Certain shots in this were trying to recapture to capture the manga design specifically. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can't really talk about how they look in series because I don't know how they look in series. The ending starting with this toffee apple and a white butterfly like sitting on it, and then it flies off. I guess butterflies representing freedom and representing beauty and grace and everything like that. We see her kind of being surrounded by all of that. She is surrounded by beauty, she's surrounded by grace, she's surrounded by freedom, but also they're flying away from her. So don't know, like, if it's implying that she is kind of tethered more than she is free. The OP is essentially what they look like in the show, and the OP looked amazing too. As the butterfly flies off to the sun, Hina sticks her toffee apple in the sky, and then we get shots of Hina and Shinatsu being adorable together. She pokes him in the eye and they just kind of play it off as laughs. They're always posing together. Everything about the way it shows them together, they are adorable, and she really does seem to have this really strong bond with him. They seem to be able to bounce off each other. She can yell at him, she can be buddy with him, she can be friendly, and she can like just mess around with him. Like, she can just be goofy with him, and he doesn't have to be someone else, she doesn't have to be someone else. It's almost like they are their true selves when they are around each other. And throughout the rest of the ending, we do see her becoming beauty and grace and freedom, and the gymnastics that she does, you know, where being a gymnast, you're free, you're very graceful, all this beauty and stuff implied with gymnastics. It almost is like she embodies all of that. She is all of that, but we do also see her with a sense of longing. She looks very sad, she looks very down, and she is longing for Taiki, because while she is looking down like this, she's covering her heart, she's covering her stomach, she is vulnerable. She is seeing Taiki in different ways, where he's looking at her and smiling, not always looking at her, because she is also seeing scenes where he's playing his game and she's watching. And we saw her watching him in one of the other openings or endings, I can't remember which it was, but it just goes to show that the relationship they have with each other is special, and it really does show in the way that she looks at him. She longs for him though, and I just feel so bad for her that I just guess I'm being a negative Nancy, that I don't think she's going to get the guy. You know, I feel like I want her to, because I feel so bad for her. I love her character so much, but yeah, it's not looking good for Hina here. But yeah, what a beautiful ending here. The song as well, I don't think I've heard any other openings or endings by TOMOO, but it was very beautiful, and the way it builds up to a big booming like triumphant crash as she starts to smile and be happy, it really hits the height as she starts to show her freedom. She starts to do her gymnastics. I'm so bad at saying that, damn it. It's really great here. Love triangles are a tragedy. Absolutely, they are. And yeah, I just have nothing but praise for this ending right here. I think that creatively, it is beautiful. It tells me a lot about the characters. Hina, especially, obviously, and Taiki, the way they maybe are with one another. And also, TOMOO did an amazing job here. And I cannot wait to hopefully hear the ending that they do later this year that Pinecino is alluding to. I don't know what that series will be for, but I cannot wait to hear it, because the work they did here was amazing and incredible, and I hope that they bring that same life and energy to the next one that they produce. But yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next one. If we're ready, we will check out this next one right now. Here we go. Wow, the watercolor. Masquerade? Wow, the artistry here is... This is special. Oh, we're starting to hear strings coming in? This is so beautiful. Like, the singer, the artwork, wow. I can't say enough about how great this looks. Wow. Oh shit. This is not what I was expecting. No, it's burning! That's what we saw at the beginning. We're burning it all away. Barbed wire? She's trapped in there? What is happening? Forever, ever. Jeez, that was terrifying at the end. That started off so beautiful and it ended in the most brutal way. Like, that's not what I was expecting from this, the way that it started off. This is Ave Mujica, The Die is Cast, a sequel to another series called Bang Dream, It's My Go. You'll get to it. Produced by Zanzigan, directed by Kodai Kakimoto, and scripted by Unico Ayana Flip-Floppers. It's good to see Flip-Floppers mentioned on the channel again. With the Bang Dream franchise created by Bushiroad, which also owns New Japan Pro Wrestling, funny enough. This is the ending Georgette Me, Georgette You by Ave Mujica, the show's band. Oh, this is a... Okay, of course, we got to get another girl band series for Pinecino. Sakigo formed the band Cry Chick with some newfound friends, but disastrous circumstances in her personal life led her to the painful decision of disbandment. Frustrated and upon seeing some former bandmates rekindle their passion under a new band called My Go, Sakiko forms a masked symphonic metal band named Ave Mujica. Gathering fellow broken souls, their haunting masquerade quickly captures audiences but threatens to reveal their past scars to the world. Literal insanity ensues. This sounds intense. I don't know what I was expecting from this, but I was expecting this to just be the same the whole way through. I thought that this was going to be a really touching, really sad feeling ending the whole way through. Obviously, I knew it was an ending because of the credits that were on screen, but the way it transitioned and the way we saw the past burning away, as we see then characters reaching out for stuff. Like, I don't know what they're reaching out for. I don't know what the hell is happening here, but this is like... So, this was a great ending. But my issue is that this is going to be a nightmare to try to figure out what the hell is happening, because this is... I don't know. This just... Yeah, this is going to be one that I'm going to spend some time just looking at and trying to figure out what different things could mean and stuff like that. Bang Dream is a decade-old franchise that produces all-female bands comprised entirely of voice actresses so they can star in their own anime series and live concerts. That's really cool. My Go was a spin-off series that swung hard into the drama aspect, even opening with a harsh breakup of a band. Ave Mujica is a sequel series that ups the ante towards a spiral into mayhem. It's incredible. Everything you have said about this series so far has transcended what I thought the series was. I thought that this series was going to be, from the imagery that we see here, I thought it was going to be a fantasy medieval setting series where not everything is as it seems, as is represented by the masquerade mask. I thought that it would be a series about, you know, maybe characters finding themselves or something. Like, I really didn't know what this was about. I was focusing on the artwork and I thought the artwork was beautiful, but we don't learn really anything from it apart from probably the kind of setting that this series has. You chose the ending since the last swing and tone comes out of nowhere better. Yeah, one episode even just flat out put this ending at the beginning in place of the opening. Really, that's really fun. You kind of get a sense that this is a series like, first of all, I would never have guessed that this was a girl band series. Never in a million years. That's not the vibes that I get from this. The vibes I get are fantasy medieval. Even then, I can't get a vibe on like which kind of series it is. Like if it's a series that focuses on romance, if it's a series that focuses on the fantasy series aspect or anything like that. So yeah, the change in tone and what Pinecino has said here have left me absolutely stumped that I really don't know what to say. Like, you thought of gothic Victorian historical anime, yeah, that makes a lot more sense actually. Yeah, it's kind of like I could look at this and think, yeah, this is where you fight Lugarius in Bloodborne, right? Like that's this rooftop with the spikes and stuff, the spires. This is where you fight Lugarius. This is the bridge where you fight the cleric beast. Like, yeah, I can go through this and now I can see the Victorian style aspect. This ending is kind of like set in the lore of their own band. They do all these operatic performances before they get to the songs, and this is their aesthetic. Oh, that's really cool. So this is how they present themselves. So that makes a lot more sense. That makes sense because we see the way they're presenting themselves, very innocent and very like normal, but then there is this mystery aspect of what's the mask about, what's the door about, why are they always looking out at things, and we never actually really see their faces. They're always covered, or their eyes are covered. We don't get an insight into their souls apart from the very beginning where we see this one character, but then obviously that all gets stripped away as it starts to burn away. And it makes for a really intense 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it happens to be, of this ending where we see everything, all the images that they have presented of themselves being burned away. And the fact that it was so artistically created, where we saw it's watercolor, I think. So it's telling you that these images of themselves that they have created are literally just fabrications. They are images, they have been created. It's not the real them, it's artwork, because this fire that we see burning away at these images is very realistic, and it really sets itself like apart from the rest of the ending, where it looks so different that you do kind of get a sense then that what we're burning away is the uniqueness, the what they're presenting opposed to who they are, what they're doing, and everything like that. And then what we see right after that is them reaching for each other, looking sad, and we actually do get those images of them being tied down by barbed wire and everything. Like, this shot especially is reminding me of a shot in one of the Overlord endings, a shot of Albedo being tied down by all these rose thorns and everything like that. It's obviously telling you that this character is tied down by something, and it's very grim that she isn't able to get away and that she is in this very dangerous, precarious position. But at the same time, is this a position that she's put herself into? Like, who is the one who tied her down? What is tying her down here? Because we never actually see anything. We just see shots of them all being tethered, them all being tied down, them all being caged. And that's another shot. We see this call back to an earlier shot where we saw a flower in this glass cage thing, and very Beauty and the Beast-esque, obviously, like the flower in this I don't know what you would call it. And we see her trapped in there this time, and that calls back to a shot early in the ending. See, I don't know if this is the same girl that we see at the very beginning, because the brooch color is different. The eye color, I think, is different. It's not the exact same what she's wearing, so I can't tell if it's the same character, but it's basically the very end of this ending is kind of telling you who they really are, what they're really dealing with. And then we get the rug pull right at the end, like an almost literal rug pull, someone ripping away something, as then we see the screen. And yeah, it's a really cool look. I think if what Pinecino's saying is that this is their aesthetic, this would be a badass thing to go see live. Like, if you went to see someone live and there was this level of stage production at every show they ever did, that would be amazing. This is very theatrical, very Broadway. It's reminding me a lot of the Phantom of the Opera, the historical setting type thing. The art style is inkwork. Okay, so I was wrong with the watercolor, but Yeah, but yeah, this was amazing. This is definitely going to be the one that I think about a lot. They wear masks and hide their identity even, really? That's cool. Unless there's something else that comes out of this, the rest of this list that we're watching today, this is going to be the one that I probably think about the most, because this is intense and it really just, it rug pulled out from under me and surprised me a lot. And I love endings that'll surprise me. I love openings that'll surprise me. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, this is very intriguing as a series because as Pinecino said, it seems like a series that birthed itself through something that it wasn't, where yeah, it just seems like a lot of fun. And yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy this this franchise at this point. It seems more of a franchise than a series because of all the different iterations and directions that it goes in. But yeah, at this point, I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. The song was so great. Let me just add as well, I loved how it sounded so sweet the whole way through, where we got just the voice with the keys, and it sounded really inviting and it sounded really like just nice to hear, until like we do hear strings, and the strings do sound mysterious and they sound like they're not really belonging, and I guess that's the first indication that something isn't right here. But then yeah, things go chaotic, and yeah, I would love to hear the full song for this. I think I'm going to listen to the full song for this because I need to know what other directions this goes in. So yeah, we're going to check out the next video, the next one for this video, and yeah, let's just dive right into it. Here we go. Whoa, Bang Dream Ave Mujica is back. Wow, the carousel. Wow. The tarot cards, of course, running through a shaded woods. Cages. That smile, don't like that. That's ominous. Wow. The look of this series is reminding me a lot of Apothecary Diaries in like the designs of the characters now that I'm seeing them. Never mind. It's more Girls Band Cry. Kill Kiss Judy? They look so ominous. I don't know if I can trust these characters at all. Her especially. Is that blood or is it wine? I love the aesthetic. Masquerade, of course. Protecting your identity or just hiding who you are. Like what is it that you're accomplishing with the mask? This is the opening Kill Kiss by Ave Mujica, and oh yeah, it's a 3D CG series. Yeah, I didn't know that until obviously this opening, but it's surprising that it is 3D CG because shots like these just scream Apothecary Diaries to me, like this kind of coloration and character design. But then obviously we do see 3D CG right around here, and it's like, okay, this looks like Girls Band Cry, and it looks like it does a great job with 3D CG again. I feel like 3D CG for these girl band series is probably the way to go because they all look amazing. Sans again. I don't think I've ever heard of Sans again. Girls Band Cry looked amazing is what I'm saying, and this series looks amazing too. This really does look like they've done a great job with the 3D here. And the way that they're doing shadow on all these characters as well is, it looks like they are, if they've been doing this 3D CG stuff for a while with this Bang Dream franchise, they are pretty much probably masters of this. You think they also helped the Guilty Gear devs with their 3D? That's really funny because I can actually picture how those both look, and yeah, it looks like there's crossover, at least crossover potential in how they both appear. The characters, some of them look very ominous. Like she looks like I cannot trust her. Like this smile right here is very Toga-esque, right? Like it's reminding me of Toga and also that one girl from Call of the Night. I can't remember her name, but she's the vampire. I think it's vampire anyway. Not only does the hair kind of remind me of that, but this smile, the creepy smile and everything. Don't 3DCG have an idol anime too? Is there an idol 3DCG series? I am unaware. The opening, starting with this carousel of chairs, like the chairs that would normally be horses, they look kind of throne-y. So to have them look like this and be spinning around, I can literally picture this carousel being on a stage and the members of the band just sitting on it as they're being introduced or whatever, like the singer just hopping on this and spinning around and stuff. It looks like a really fun idea, and yet again, everything is just screaming like theatrics. Like, if theater kids didn't make this series, I don't know who did, because this is very theatrical. This is a theater kid show, yeah, okay. Because I'm just seeing everything about this and it just seems so dramatic. Like, everything looks like it has been crafted with the drama of it all in mind. Tarot cards, having tarot cards for the characters. Like, what's her name? Timori? I don't know, but it just really strikes me as the kind of show that if you want the most dramatic series of all time, you would enjoy this series a lot. Having them running through shaded woods. Was it a shaded? So this could be like shaded woods, or it could be like a heart. You see what I'm going for here? Like, this looks like it could be like the veins of like a heart or something. And even still, I don't know how to interpret that. Shaded Woods, Dark Souls 2, please don't remind me. But she's running through it anyway, and we start to see characters with different symbolism that maybe represent stuff that they experience or go through. Characters spilling. Does she fall and then turn into blood? What is that? Like, what is happening there in that sequence? That sequence is bonkers. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, but this is really ominous. We're seeing a character, I can't tell if it's being poured on her or she is turning into blood or wine. Like, this is a real mind-boggling one that has so much symbolism that I don't even know if it makes sense with the context of the series in mind. Like, it's hard to deduce what the hell is happening here within the series, and all I can really go for is, yeah, they're just characters who are very theatrical who are in a band. That's really all I got going for me here. But let me tell you, this 3D CG looks amazing. And yeah, I don't know if I can trust any of the characters because they all look to have something going on. They all look like they might have ulterior motives. I just don't know why they are using those ulterior motives through being in a band. I don't get it. This moon, the crescent in the moon, is reminding me of the smile that we saw at the very beginning with the big red smile right here. Again, I don't know if this is supposed to be some symbolism that I'm not understanding. Like, there's nothing kind of pointing towards anything that I can figure out anything from the series itself. So sadly, I might be ready to move on to the next one. But this series has definitely piqued my interest because it looks to be very interesting and very mysterious to me. Oh, by the way, this is the show you said had one of the best episodes of the year, and other fans said it was one of the worst of the entire series. Really? That's really funny. But yeah, I think I might be ready to move on to the next one. This very, very curious series. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this down in the comments below. But I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. So if we're ready, let us move on here. Okay. Ice? Snow? Ice skates? Ice skating series? That isn't Yuri on Ice? Medalist. She looks like a baby. This artist sounds very familiar. She's like an outcast. Okay, I need to know if she's a child or not, because otherwise it could seem a little creepy. What a banger though. Wow, she's obviously like, I love series where someone finds something they're good at and they become happy about it. Aw, that's so cute. Is he a coach or is he like a doubles partner for her? I imagine he's a coach. That was very cute. I'm not looking at chat in case you're gonna say who the artist was, but the only thing I'm thinking about is Ranger Rejects opening ending, because the sound of it sounds the same, but the singer's voice doesn't sound the same to me. I know that Ranger Rejects opening ending, I think both were done by, or at least the opening anyway, was done by what's his name, Tatsuya Kitani, who did JJK season 2 opening 1. I'm not going to get it, and it's really bothering me. Anyway, this is Medalist, produced by Enji and based on the manga by Tsuru Maikada, directed by Yasutaka Yamamoto, scripted by Juki Hanada, Hibeke Euphorium, and Girls Band Cry and Steins Gate. Wow, that's like a lot of series you really, really like wrapped up in one there, Pinecino. I'm sure this is one that you were really looking forward to. Hibike Did I say Euphorium? What I meant was Hibike Euphonium. And music by Yuki Hayashi of Haikyuu, MHA, and Sakamoto Days. The song is Bow and Arrow by Kenshi Yonezu. Of course, My Hero Academia opening 2 and Chainsaw Man opening 1 Kickback. From what I remember, what I recall, like I'm pretty sure I remember you saying like ages ago, Pinecino, when G-Quacks was announced that Kenshi Yonezu was also going to be doing that opening. So that'll be a fun one to check out, because this was very unlike Kickback, but also the voice was so familiar to me, but I just couldn't peg who it was here. Tsukasa dreamed of becoming a competitive solo figure skater, but found his passion too late in life to fulfill his ambitions. That's really sad. He has resigned himself to an assistant coaching job where he discovers the shy girl Inori. She finds herself in a similar track as Tsukasa, additionally with an overprotective mother who discourages her passion. That's so sad. Moved by Inori's frustration and desire to change, Tsukasa offers to be her coach and help her chase her eventual dream of becoming an Olympic medalist. Hence the title, Medalist. That's a really, really sad concept for a series, where it's kind of this guy living his dream through someone else. But it is also beautiful because in a way he can still achieve that goal by watching someone very similar to him who maybe experienced similar circumstances or at least similar internal struggles, overcome that and be able to go on to do great things and hopefully eventually become a medalist at the Olympics. This was a series that had a fair bit of concern heading into it. Enji is a fairly low-rated studio, and in contrast, the Medalist manga is an award-winning series from the prestigious magazine Afternoon. Blue Period, Vinland Saga, Land of the Lustrous. Against all odds, they largely pulled off the adaptation, and it's been a big success with the second season announced already. That's really nice to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. Fun fact, Kenshi collab Yuzuru Hanyu for his MV. Yuzuru Hanyu is a Japanese ice skater who's a two-time gold medal Olympic ice skater but now retired. That's really, really cool. Oh, so the actual music video for this song actually has a Japanese Olympic skater skating in it. That's really, really cool. I actually love that. The concept for this is really I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's bothering me because it's sad, and I think that while yes, this is probably a series that finds beauty in overcoming your past, well, not beauty, but in finding a way to overcome your past, the way that these two do, and the way that they probably help each other overcome what they have experienced in their past, I'm sure that it is beautiful, and I'm sure that it does a great job. And the fact that this is an award-winning series, I have no doubt about it that this is probably a series that really draws you in and grips you and makes you invested in the characters and what they're experiencing and everything like that. I had no idea there was any other ice skating series besides Yuri on Ice, because I am so out of the loop when it comes to sports anime, especially. To know that there is a sports anime that is award winning, a sports manga that is award winning, I that's really cool to learn. That's a really cool piece of information. There's a fair few award-winning sports series, yeah, but if you were to ask me, name an award-winning sports series, I would throw a Slam Dunk your way, because that's the only sports series I know of that is, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound derogatory or like I'm shit-talking other sports series, but it's the only one I know of that is critically acclaimed, you know, whereas something like Haikyuu, I don't know if it's critically acclaimed. I'm sure it is. I know it's absolutely loved and beloved by everyone, but I just haven't heard, you know, a critical side of Haikyuu. You know, I'm not trying to give Haikyuu shit here. I'm trying to prove that I know nothing. It is we'll try this again. It is ludicrously critically acclaimed. Well, that's good to hear, because it's hard to think of series that I have only heard of by word of mouth being critically acclaimed without hearing that they're critically acclaimed. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but yeah, I think it's cool. I love that this is critically acclaimed, and I hope that Studio NG realizes the potential that they have here with this series, and I'm sure that they do, because by the sounds of things they did a great job with it. You say they largely pulled off the adaptation, so in a way, did some people still come away with a negative perception of the series, or was the perception generally positive but kind of like, I wish they did this a little different, I wish they did this a little better? Was it that kind of largely pulled it off? Suppose you forgot to mention Tsukasa found ice skating in high school and was too late for his circumstances. Yeah, Inori is only like 11 and she is regarded as being too late to see success too, so that's their connection with each other. 11 is too late? Lads, I don't know, like, if 11's too late for something like this, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm pretty sure Mads Mikkelsen wasn't in a movie until he was in his mid-30s. And success stories can come from any age. You have to start at like 6. Yeah, well, that's ridiculous, and that is ludicrous, because that's burning a fire within me to actually want to dive into this series, because I want to see them succeed, because I want to see them shit all over the critics and shit all over everyone who says you can't do anything, you're too old, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. 11 years old, you still got the world in front of you. At 11 years old, you don't even know how easy life is, you know, like, not that how easy life is, but Tsukasa has to still go on, and he is experiencing the hardships of being an adult, having to do things for yourself, all of that, whereas Inori in this situation, she's 11 years old and she doesn't have to navigate life like that just yet. So despite the fact that, yes, she has her hardships, she is a hard-ass mother who probably holds her back in really just negative ways, she still has her whole life ahead of her. And so to hear that she is being told you're too old, nah, that's bullshit. I hate that. And that's why it's burning a fire within me to want to actually see them shut everyone down. LeBron started at like 9. That's probably considered late too, you know? A 9-year-old playing basketball and he didn't have a ball in his hand when he was 4? Come on. The opening itself, for the content of what's in it, is a little surprising. Like this section right here where we go from watching him watch other people succeed from the sidelines, you know, like he's obviously very sad. He's watching on. He's not able to accomplish his dreams. He's only able to watch on as others achieve their dreams. Cake cider? That sounds disgusting. What the hell? I really like the opening song, but it sounds so unfitting for this. Seeing the way they're experiencing all these hardships and they're watching on as others do their things. Inori's got a permission slip, I imagine, where she wants her mother to sign something to allow her to go on to do something. But she's obviously looking very sad. She's sitting alone in a playground until Tsukasa shows up, and that's kind of when they open each other's eyes to the potential of each other. I don't know if Tsukasa but takes her plight to go on to do figure skating. Like, I don't know if he takes the position of a coach for Inori, or if he also goes and tries to achieve Olympic gold, Olympic medal. Like, I don't know if he is also going to try to fulfill his dreams. No, he's just the coach. Like, he doesn't whatsoever try anymore. Like, I thought maybe they would push each other. The fact that he starts to smile. Oh, Peanut's breaking into the room. Say hi to Peanut. Hi. Sorry, where was I? So yeah, the way that he starts to smile when she is introduced, and she starts to have a more positive attitude. She sees all these other characters coming and going, and they look like they bounce off each other, have good relationships, because Inori is starting to recognize that she deserves to be happy. The song sounds very fitting for this. Like, scenes like these where we're seeing them dancing on the ice and everything, but the whole opening half of this opening, like the first half of this opening, felt very like whiplashy, in the sense that, like, it felt like I was seeing something really sad but seeing something very thumpy and gets you really hyped and gets your heart rate up. So it was just kind of making me confused. But I think for the latter half, it definitely is very fitting, and I think it's great that we start to see these characters like Inori and Tsukasa smiling. We start to see them competing. We start to see them achieving their goals and their dreams. And I can see this being a great series because I love the story so much. And yeah, the way she smiles right towards the end there as they're looking at each other and everything, and they fist bump, it gives me so much joy. It makes me so happy considering where we were at the very beginning. It starts off with her looking determined, but then as we go on, we start to see her looking sad, as well as Tsukasa. So the fact that this is a triumphant story, it makes me really happy. And of course, we end with the ice coming in and transitioning into the end of the opening. But yeah, that was a great opening. And yeah, I would love to check out the full song as well as the music video for it, because I want to see this guy dance. I want to see this guy figure skate. But yeah, I think we're ready now to move on to the next one. So here we go. Let's check out what will be, I think, the second to last one that we check out today. So here we go. Let's check this one out. Here we go. Love the art style. Shrimp. Oh, it is Medalist. Okay, I wasn't sure. She's just like any of us. What does she bury in the sand? A worm! Jump with the worm. Oh, it's so fun. Doggy. She's the queen, she's on top. Oh, is that a plush that she has? That's so cute. This is Medalist Sanding My Dress by Neguse. On the worm, Inori digs up worms and gives them to receptionists at the local ice rink to get in there since she can't afford a membership. Aww, that's so sweet. The thought behind it. The receptionist is just kind of going along with it since they feel sorry for her, and I think if you remember, they just bury them back when she's not looking. Oh, that's really nice. Worms are somehow very important for this series. Who would have thunk? I loved the art style for this. The art style was so cute. It's reminding me, I guess, of like art styles you would have seen in like Bocchi the Rock's endings and stuff like that. You know, it's got a similar line weight and drawing style and coloration with like this textured look and everything. It's very cute. But then when we do start to get like a more flat look, especially when Inori shows up, she is just like any of us struggling with maths, you know, like what do the numbers mean, Mason? Like, what is it all about? And so right after school she sprints straight to the playground to dig up a worm, and I didn't know what she was doing at first, and then I saw the worm and I was like, oh my god, like she's literally a child. Children digging up worms and it becoming their whole personality for a while. Like I've seen this before. But she sees this worm as this holy, like, majestic being almost, because this worm allows her to do what it is she wants to do, and that is to skate. So the worm being something that she looks up to is very important, because this worm allows her to skate. She sees it as something that she uses in a transactional sense, as like a currency type sense. And then of course she's dancing with the worm, and she wouldn't be able to do this without the worm, so I don't know if that's what that's indicating. This is June coded, absolutely. This is Shia over here. So yeah, we're just dancing with Shia, and it's so funny seeing the way this other character sees the worm. Like, I wonder if that's how he actually reacts when he finds out that she's paying her way in with worms. And the receptionist sounds like a really, really good character. I think that the receptionist sounds like they are a really sweet person who has a lot of empathy and a lot of thought for others, and allowing her to go into the ice rink to skate for free basically is very thoughtful. And then of course they're riding on the worm, never ending story. Like, this little doggy is so cute. And then we get to see the cat girl again. I never mentioned that there was a cat girl in the opening. I just kind of assumed that that was an outfit that a character wears, but I guess their whole personality is cat girl. I thought it was Inori perhaps because of the pink. And this girl right here, this little girl, she is on the throne. She is up top on top of the podium. She is the one to look out for. She is the best in the game, and she is someone who seemingly accepts Inori very quickly because they smile at each other, they reach out for each other and everything. So I think that that aspect is really nice to see, that Inori isn't kind of shunned aside for not being part of the crew or being different or anything like that. And we get to see as well the failures. I don't know if she fell or if she's just on the ground, she's exhausted, but she fist bumps the worm, and then they go on to do great things, you know. And that's when we get to see her cuddling with the worm in bed. It's cute, it's adorable, and I love this look so much. And it's really interesting too that we see her waking up with this textured kind of art style, but then after all the food, after the shrimp and everything, and this moment, we start to see her in kind of a, I don't know, the style looks a little different. It's not as textured, I guess. I don't know if it's trying to tell us a story from the art style. She's a very interesting rival character. Yeah, I can imagine, because she seems like the kind of character you would actually like, but she is still also a rival. I'm curious if she is actually a good character or not, because she looks to be one, and maybe that's part of her cunning. Maybe she's trying to present herself in such a way, who knows. The sound for this song definitely sounded a lot more fitting than the Kenshi Yonezu's opening for this series. I'm afraid I might not have much more to say. I'd love to hear Neguse in more of these, because it's a name I'm unfamiliar with. But yeah, we're going to check out the final one right now, so let's move on to the next one. Number 10 for this video, but number 12 on this playlist. So let's check out the final opening / ending. I'd imagine it's going to be an opening, but we'll find out, so here we go. Is this Orb? It sounds similar to the first ending, with the voice and the keys. I love the kind of fairy tale-esque art style that it's using here. I love that the guitar is now there, and like a bass as well. Like adding layers as the song goes on. It's really cool. Oh, we're moving into actual, like, probably anime animation here. It's a really beautiful track. Pigeon. Flying into an empty space. Wow, it just disappeared. That looked crazy. The way it just literally vanished in front of my eyes. Pointing out towards space. And of course, that makes sense. This is Orb on the Movements of the Earth, second ending, Snake by Yorushika. This first Orb ending and Freerun opening too. Is there any reason why you didn't include the second opening for this list? Just out of curiosity? I recognized, I guess, Yorushika's voice immediately, and it sounded very similar to that first ending where it was the keys and the voice, and the keys and the voice playing to each other's strengths, and it was such a, I don't know, like it's so nice feeling. It makes you feel really nice. The second opening is the same song with changed visuals, which are massive spoilers. Okay, so it's not really a second opening, it's more so just a new visual. That's good to know, thank you. Yeah, Orb, what a masterpiece of an opening and ending. This opening and endings this series had. Second Action, Yorushika did incredible work, and it's sad that this ending, I guess, I'm not really able to pick it apart too much because it looks like, I don't know, a lot of these images seem very contextual, and you need to have the context to understand what is happening. I could make a guess that from the first two images, this young boy and this guy grew up, like probably father-son relationship that they have, and this is them fleeing, perhaps, like they needed to run away because they were being persecuted, or they're on the run, they're being chased down for some reason. Maybe these are the ones that introduced the main character Rafal, to the concept of what is it, centrism, like something centrism. They introduced one of the TMNT, absolutely they did, the red one. This image right here, I just can't get a read on who they are, what they're doing, what this wall represents, if it represents that one of them is looking towards the wall, you know, looking towards the wall that separates something on the other side, whereas the other one is looking away, looking to the future. Is it like one is looking at the past, one is looking at the future type of thing, looking away and looking at the wall? And then we flip through a bit more, get this scene of this guy holding something out to this little girl, and she's very happy. And yeah, it's yet again, like, I don't really know how to interpret any of this without context. The imagery is beautiful. I love this look. It's reminding me of, I'm pretty sure the first ending for Orb had visuals similar to this, but it is also very similar to the Dungeon Meshi ending visuals, where it's got this kind of like smoky effect as the image fades out, and it looks very fairy tale book-esque with texture to it. And then of course that fizzles away. Like it's like a film being burned. You know, we're no longer seeing the idealistic life anymore. Like this kind of idealist version where everything looks, you know, very fairy tale-esque, and it's like a story. It gets burned away, and we're starting to see, I wouldn't really say a harsh reality, because nothing here really looks too grim, but from what I understand about this series, things get pretty dark, things get pretty grim, and it looks like we're seeing this darkness, whereas like before this, the opening was mostly in light because of the background, whereas now it's mostly dark. And this bird flying away represents ushering in the light again, ushering in a freedom away from the darkness, away from perhaps church, you know? That's when we get then, I presume, our main character Rafal pointing out towards the sky to represent this freedom of the earth, freedom of existence. He wants to study this something centrism, heliocentrism. Yes, that's the word. Holy shit, I could not think of that first part. But yeah, like he wants to study heliocentrism, which represents a kind of freedom, and a freedom to a way of understanding and everything like that, understanding the way the world works, but being confined and not being allowed to believe in that. But also, like, I don't mean to be nitpicky, but the way this bird disappears is it's kind of weird. Like, I would have preferred to see it kind of continue to fly away until it becomes really minuscule, but it just kind of like disappears. And yeah, it's just kind of like weird to me the way they did that, but I'm not going to hark on that too long because I love what it represents. And yeah, this was a really great ending. Again, I might be adding this one to my playlist as well. I have the first Yorushika ending on my playlist. I might be adding the second one as well because I just love her voice so much. She has a really beautiful voice that just sings through the darkness, sings through everything that we're seeing here, and the way that she has the piano keys backing her up the entire time, and the way that she builds upon the ending with instruments coming and going and everything like that. I'm a pretty big fan of the way these endings have been constructed, and I hope big things for her because I don't know her. Like, that sounds very demeaning, but I wasn't familiar with her name before checking out these endings, so I hope that she continues to make a name for herself if she hasn't already. I'm sure she's probably already a big name for all I know, but yeah. What a great way to end this up. Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Let me know what you guys thought of it, if you guys enjoyed it, because I heard great things about it once it ended. You'll get more of her with Freerin, absolutely, you're right. We might be getting to that new opening soon. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I had an absolute blast checking these out. I'm very excited to check out more in the future. I will hopefully be checking out the spring 2025 openings very soon. I will be doing a video. Pinecino has told me he will be doing a separate video for openings and endings for spring 2025, so we'll hopefully check that out in the next week or two on stream. I don't know when these videos will be uploaded, but yeah, this was an absolute blast. I had a great time. Let me know your favorite down below, and let me know if there's any that you enjoyed that maybe weren't on this list, and who knows, maybe way down the line we'll check those out. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below like I just asked, if you could share your favorite that was in this list, or maybe that was omitted from this list. Also, like, some that maybe weren't in this list, maybe I've already checked out. Like, I did check out the Solo Leveling opening and ending. I did check out the Shangri-La Frontier opening and ending. So there are some that maybe weren't in this that I've already checked out. But yeah, we are going to be back soon. And yeah, I hope that you're able to have a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.